time, Pops. Unadulterated fun. Judge me as you want. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. I just still enjoy this movie. Mrs. Pops and I have it in our sort of like regular rotation of fun. The family can be around. It's a good time. I don't know. You guys can hate on me if you want. Not a lot to say, but other than this, a lot of times the Rock and Kevin Hart stuff just really gets on your nerves because it's been overdone so in so many movies. But I think in this one, there's still sort of like a sweetness that stays in the story because they're still kids in avatars. So the sweetness of the kids carries the story through, even though it's Rock and Kevin Hart, right? It's not them. I think that it doesn't work nearly as well in the second movie, um, or the second sequel, rather, but it works in this first one. So let me just show a little bit of footage from the trailer because I think that it was very, very good. Like, I mean, I remember watching the marketing for all this, and thinking about being in a video game and all this, and this was like a high octane, and obviously they use the music, they use the Guns N' Roses. It's a lot of quick cuts, quick jumps. We all understood the premise behind the movie because of the first one with Robin Williams. So we didn't need a whole bunch of exposition. We didn't need a whole lot of explaining. We just needed to understand, like, all right, well, how are you going to suck someone else into the game again? And I really liked that a lot. I thought that was actually pretty good. And they gave us a good job of having these kids, and we kind of get it. I will say this too: Sony is probably one of the worst offenders of showing you footage of a movie and spoiling stuff. So when this movie was announced, I think I saw the 30-second or 1 minute teaser, and I knew we, the family, would go see it. So I would purposely not watch these trailers. I remember we were in an auditorium, we were watching something like this. This trailer started, and I think I went and either refilled the cup or went to the bathroom. I tried my best to not have all of the jokes and gags and stuff spoiled because I knew I was going to see this. I did the same thing with Spider-Man No Way Home. I've done it with both of the Venom movies. I did it with the sequel to this. I did it with Ghostbusters Afterlife. The Sony stuff, their trailers show way too much, and I don't know what to do. I would say this: I really enjoyed the City Slickers trailer because I felt like they put the audio in and they used jokes, but they would sort of like overlay other video with the dialogue, so you might get the gag, but it didn't perfectly match. So you still had a first time experience. This trailer really does ruin a lot of the good elements of the film as far as the characters' jokes and who's going to be which character. I mean, this is like this trailer, even though it's like 2 minutes long, it's like the mini movie. You don't really have to see the movie to get a lot of this. You get a lot of the jokes of like the nerd that's trapped in The Rock, the girl that's trapped in Jack Black, the big football player dude is trapped in little tiny Kevin Hart, and of course the uber nerd girl is hot Karen Gillan, and then it's just really fun stuff that I think for the most part worked pretty well, and I think it's holding up really well. We do get the obligatory eyebrow, we do get to some of the silliness and things like that. But I also think that they did a good job of allowing the other characters to steal some time, right? They get to be heroes in their own right. They get to be, superheroes on screen with their avatars. They get to contribute in their own little ways. It really, really is kind of an underrated, fun film. And I say fun, meaning this is a solid, 5 star. So a solid 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5, right? This isn't some great film. I'm not trying to make this deep or anything like that. And I will say, if there was anything I could say about the next one, the next level, the third movie, which is the second new film, was that the relationships are kind of a mess, right? The nerds don't stay together. They kind of rock the boat a little bit with some of the pretenses of things that work and that kind of thing. That actually is probably one of the things that I could credit the most of the other film that they tried to do. Um, and you get a lot of Jack Black just being Jack Black, and you get just silly Kevin Hart, screaming and running and jokes like that. Um, and then you just get CGI that isn't really good a lot of times. It's kind of bad, but they do it for gags and stuff, so we can have a good time with it. We don't have to get caught up in the fact that we're not in anything more than like a 10-year-old's movie. We don't have to pretend that everything has to be some lecture and whatever. This was a movie that kind of predates some of that. So it was still a lot of fun. So I'm throwing it my throwback just because we did rewatch this movie. We did have a great time rewatching this movie. I thought to myself, I don't know that we own the physical copy for Next Level. And I'm like, I don't mind throwing that in. It tends to be a lot more background noise. It's not something I want to include a whole video on. And maybe we'll do a video at some point for, one of the shows or something. I don't know. I'm not sort of like married to the Jumanji franchise, even though I will admit there's no real end in sight what you can do if you can just come up with interesting ways of incorporating like just like with video games, there could be a new Jumanji upgrade. So now new avatars going in have to play a different type of game. That's fine. The game is trying to adapt and survive for whatever reason. I worry they're going to try to do a prequel movie or an origin movie like that. To me, sounds like the worst idea they could possibly come up with. So I don't know what you guys. Is it fun? Have you rewatched it? Am I just I don't know. Sometimes I can just have bad taste. I should be allowed to have at least a couple of bad takes. I don't think I do, but I would love to hear from you guys. So there you guys, folks. Have a great week. Talk to you guys soon. I am Pops.